So where can you find actors? For the assurance, I put out as big of a net as possible. I posted to local Facebook groups, local online bulletin boards, acting schools, even Craigslist. I'd heard positive and negative things about different methods, but I really wanted to try everything so I could talk about it in this training series. I found the preacher, Will Rose, from the acting school post, and almost everyone else from the online bulletin board posts. I probably had the most responses from Craigslist, but with the exception of Josh Piper, no one responded to my replies or showed up for their auditions. I had dozens of people respond to my initial posts, but a lot of those people didn't fit the criteria I asked for in the casting call or wouldn't email me back. I ended up scheduling about a dozen actors for auditions, but of those dozen, only 5 showed up. So I learned to really pack the schedule with auditions, knowing that many, or even most in our case, most of those people wouldn't even show up. I should also point out the fact that my film was a fantasy film in Seattle, and that probably hurt it a lot. It's just not a popular genre for any film here. Offering money usually helps to get more responses from actors, but even that didn't help us in this case. I've seen casting calls for unpaid roles in dramas by first-time directors or student directors even get way more responses than we did. When I first started writing my film, it had a little bit more of that comedy than I'm used to. I thought that the part of Mark Holland could be played by one of my favorite indie celebrities. He's an amazing comedy writer, director, and actor, and I thought he'd be great. So I actually reached out to him via Facebook, and to my utter shock, he totally agreed. Now, he ended up not being able to be in the film because our film was not a union project and he was part of an actors union. But I'm actually glad it worked out like it did. I think a comedic character would have really been out of place in the world that we ended up creating for the film. But the point is that sometimes it is possible to find really quality talent for your film if you just ask. It's worth noting that all of our lead actors were not found through casting. I knew Natty because I fathered her. Eva Jane and Andrew Tribellini were cast without an audition because I had worked with them on other projects. Now we'll talk more later in this chapter why I probably wouldn't do that again. So you found some actors and you're ready to hold an audition. We'll look at the specifics of how to do that next.